Hi, this is Kathleen. This is the first of the short orientation videos that show you how to get around D2L and how to participate in the class. When you first log on to the class, this is what you will see. This is the home page. It doesn't change a whole lot. You will eventually see my photo and my email and contact phone number on here. Remember that you can leave me a message anytime. I'll get back with you in less than 24 hours usually, or maybe a little bit longer on weekends. I can also meet with you on campus if you make me an appointment. So you'll see this green button here. It's not a clickable button, but it's just to draw your eyes to remind you to go to Materials and Content. So Materials and Content is where you'll need to go to get to the content of the class. In your other D2L classes, you might have had to use all of these tabs up here, but for my class, you just need Materials and then Content right here. The shortcut is to go to this content browser. All of the modules that are open are going to be listed right here, so that's just a shortcut. The other thing on the home page is this grading updates section. Anytime a group of assignments is graded, I will list it here so you're not having to go back and forth to the gradebook. You might also be getting notifications in your email when you have something graded. Here's some instructions on how to read your feedback. You'll definitely want to be doing that so that you can improve for the following assignments. Viewing your quiz results is something you're going to want to do as you prepare for the assignments and also as you prepare to take multiple attempts of the quizzes. You're going to want to view your quiz results. There's a quick little demo right here on how to do that if you're not familiar. If you did not get an email from me, these orientation videos are always going to be here if you need to go back and review them or to remind yourself about some of the rules of the class. But you want to make sure that your email is set up as well. So if I do send out an email to the class, that you are getting that email, because that's another way that I will communicate. So let's look real quickly at Materials and Content. When you click on this, this is what you will see. It'll bring you to the table of contents. It'll actually bring you to the last place you left off. So this happens to be the last page I was looking at. If it doesn't, it goes to this table of contents, which looks like this. In other words, all of this material here is listed on the left-hand side, and then you'll see it over here. So you can start with the question board. This is a board that you can use to send me any type of question that you might have in the class, particularly if you think other students might have it as well. If you have a personal question about a grade, don't use the question board, but please use this board as much as possible to ask about assignments, ask about terms that you might not understand, clarification on things. This is a great way to put that, and anybody can respond to your question. So if another student sees a question before I do, they can certainly respond as well. I will check it every day, of course. How this course is set up is the next thing. I've got a little welcome thing here, I've got a syllabus, and I've got the due dates. You also have week 1 is available and week 2 is available as of now, even though the deadline isn't until July 16th. But what you want to be working on right now is this week 1, July 5 through 9. So what happens when you click on this module over here on the left-hand side? All of the assignments that you need and all the links you need are here. You don't need to be going back and forth to these tabs up here to get to anything. It's all going to be linked here. I start with an overview that tells you everything that's due for the week and what the deadline is, 11:59 on Saturday. All of the major deadlines are on Saturday. You can use these little things up here to get back to where you were. The first thing I want you to do is introduce yourself, and then you're going to be reading from the textbook. Make sure you have a textbook. I have a copy on loan at the library as well at the reserve counter. So this reminds you everything you're going to be reading. I also have an article I want you to read. And that's where you go for that. You can click. You can also use these arrows to go back and forth through the material. So if I just click on this arrow, it'll take me to the next thing, which is the lecture for chapter 1. So this is a narrated lecture, kind of like what you're watching right now. So you would click on it. You can also use this link if for some reason this isn't showing up. Then to get to the next item, we have a lecture for chapter 2. So the first week is chapters 1 and 2. So you'll watch that. You can take notes on it in a notebook. You can also refer back to it as you need to. I've got some clips here to watch. So you'll work your way through these things. I recommend using Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of each week to get through this material. You can certainly reschedule that if you need to, but that would be the basic recommendation. So you just go through each of these things. Then we have a discussion board. Now the discussion boards I want you to post no later than Wednesday of every week. So you've watched the videos, you've looked at the textbook and read the textbook, then I want you to think about some things and we're going to discuss them as a group. To do that, you're going to click on this blue Start a New Thread button. So the Start a New Thread button, you just enter your subject, my favorite sitcoms or whatever it might be, and then you would type your response in here or your post in here, and then you would hit Post. So this blue button here is how you actually put it on the discussion board. Okay, now it says down here, you must start a thread before you can read and reply to other threads. When you first log on to the discussion boards, for the most part, you're not going to see anything until you have posted. So don't let that freak you out. Don't let that make you think, oh, nobody's posted yet. What's wrong with this discussion board? Am I in the wrong place? You're not in the wrong place. It just means that you need to post something before you can see anything else. As soon as you make this post, everybody else's posts will pop up and you can start in on the discussion. So that makes you think through the question on your own so that you're not biased or thinking about other people's posts as you're posting your own. It's an original thought, and then you can go back and start building on other people's posts. The next thing here would be week 2. So once you work yourself through all of these things, including the assignment, the quiz, there's a syllabus quiz, and there's also the chapter 1 and 2 quiz. Then you will be ready to move on to week 2. So that's how that works. My next video talks a little bit more in depth about what the assignments and quizzes are.